All right, we can go on. So, previous video, we went to XeroLinux, one of the spin-offs, and I told you if you want to start your own distro, your own ISO, you need to read a lot of stuff and compare what's available on the internet. And we've compared the Xero ISO with the Xero ISO dev to the future ISO. You should have a dev as well. And in the meantime, the XeroLinux is taken up into our ArcoLinux ISO, how to build an ISO, right, in the guide. So there is an article down here that says that these are all the things you need to read, right? There's a lot of reading, a lot of listening involved if you want to start with your own distro. Learn by comparing GitHubs with each other. XeroLinux as example. So there's this article, and all the videos I'm gonna make are coming under this heading, this article. Where do I find the knowledge to build ISOs? It's online, right? First of all, that's the link we just saw, a comprehensive guide to the ISO building. That's what you should start with, and here we have the video that I've made recently, and the one I'm making here will go under here, and so on. It's a lot of energy that has to go, right? Has to go into building an ISO. So after installing everything, after building everything, we're gonna install it. It's a 2.5 and it doesn't matter how big it is. It's your ISO, it's your decision. Be happy with your decisions. And this is the folder, right? Xero dev out, and here we have the ISO and the package list. All the Lego pieces are in here. What did you choose to install? You chose this. A lot of it is dependencies, right? All the lib things are there, the libraries are there because of the fact, yeah, you chose a certain application in each library. Then we know where it is. Home Eric Xero Dev, Super Q, Super F7. Choose a virtual machine to your liking. And then you need to load this in your system. Dev sounds about right. Optical drive empty. Choose a disk file. Bam. Straight where we need to be. Home Eric Xero Dev out. Otherwise you navigate to the folder and to the ISO. .iso. Now we start it up. And all decisions and time-wise. So boot up, first grub, how many seconds will you give these people? 10 seconds, 9 seconds, or 3, or 5, or 6, right? It's a choice. Which of these lines will you take? What will you do here? Entirely up to you. Don't you care about running the mem testing? Well, don't put it in there. Simple as that. So we're going to use the normal BIOS update, since this is a virtual machine. No NVIDIA near or around. Let's take another sip. That's the problem, right? All this talking, the coffee gets cold. I see already a choice, right? The cursor. It's a dark one. Then we greet it. Welcome. So this is the new look. If you're a user of XeroLinux, you say, hey, what's this? It's the beta version, right? The beta version. It's the new kind of thing. And there are options in Plasma to make it floating, these things. That's the new option. Or was it 25 or something? I don't know. Version numbers, right? The new one. And this is how it's going to look. Okay. Welcome to XeroLinux. Start the XeroLinux installer. You know, of course, that's the Calamares installer, right? It's we all use the same thing, and voila. American English sounds good for me. And we have a lot of choices, so you can use net modules for those going to study Calamares, right? You need to study it, basically. But these are the net modules. You can, if you got internet, right? That's a big if. If internet is available, then you can say, okay, let me get this and let me get that. All right, next. He knows where we're living. Cool. And this is a bug which will be fixed soon. You know what you need, and voila, you can type it here. It is the way I want it, Azerty. And all the accents, right? All the special accents, whoa, test them out. But I know this is the right thing. Enfin. So Belgian. Next, erase disk choices, right? Why XFS first? Why not XF4 first? Because of choices. It's up to you to decide what you give to people. There are distros that won't give you anything. It's just by default ButterFS. Voila, no choice. Again, this is Calamaris. It's a Swiss knife. You can set it any way you like and give the users all the freedom or no freedom. Those are the two extremes, right? And anything in between. So this is good. Next. My name is Eric. And the password I would like to have to be Eric, but it's not possible. The password is shorter than 6 characters. So in Calamaris, you can tell them to be aware of the fact that passwords are not compliant to the rules, you know, the password rules we all have to adhere to on our work, right? It has to be capital letter and a lot of letters and not the same letters, and it has to have a number and then a special character. You know the drill, right? It's about that. In the meantime, I've learned what I should type, and you see me type it, and then he's happy. My name is Eric Dubois 123, and then it's okay, right? He's happy. Reuse user password as root password. Okay, fine. Next, install, and that's one video, right? It's just about installing XeroLinux, but let's use the time to make this again a video to a public that wants to build ISOs. This is the Calamaris tool. You have an account on github.com/calamaris. You're following every single post. You have this subscribe thing up there. I don't know, it's not subscribed, but you get all these mails in about changes and questions of people, and you follow it like that as well. Not only by following the website, but also by learning anything that I've put online on Carly, on ALCI about Calamaris. There's a lot of information out there. What is interesting as well is what's happening at the back end. The last versions, and this is the version we're using, has the ability to show the user, hey, it's stuck, right? It's stuck. And sometimes you don't see these numbers move. Years ago, we did not have these numbers, so people thought, I need to unplug my machine because it's not doing anything, it's frozen. But these days, we have these numbers and they go up. Basically, now we are doing, well, actually, don't need to tell you, I'm gonna do an rsync. I'm telling him, or we are telling him, to where is, voila. So let's get a bit technical. The idea that this is a video for the technical guys. You go to run, ArchISO, root file system, boot management, couchspace, okay, and you have information here. He wants to copy paste things to the temporary folder. What's the temporary folder? That's the future system. So the future system, it's like this, right? The future system is gonna be in the temp. So the temporary folder, they've mounted the future hard disk. And what we're doing is just moving from A to B. So minuses and zeros, ones and zeros, so bits and bytes, that's what I want to say, is moved from A to B, that's all, from A to B. Can we drag this out of it? Detach tab. better, right? It's gonna be moved from here to here. And this will change. Sometimes you see them adding folders, and depending where it's gonna copy paste stuff, right? Where is he at this point in time? We don't know, but it's in progress. It's going to be in there. So that's technical. What's also technical is if you install Calamares, it's going to be somewhere because it's an application, right? etc Calamares. And I'm an advocate of saying split the configuration from the application. Configs do not change that much. But the application, hopefully, right, there will be more and more and more additions that we say, wow, we got this possibility and we got this possibility, and Calamares will improve. And we rebuild the Calamares package. There are also some other dangers like lib boost. If that package comes in, not always, but it can mean that you need to rebuild Calamares. As simple as that. Just rebuild, push it again to your repo, and you can build again. You can install Calamares because it's referencing to a library that has been updated and has to be correct. In the meantime, all kind of technical things come by. In English, they say, don't sweat it, right? Gradually, you'll figure out what all this is. And some of this is just unimportant, and other things are important. But voila, Rome wasn't built in one day. So restart system. So we have a live environment that we need to create. We need to have a Calamares installer there. It has to do its job. And then afterwards you can boot up and have your own operating system. And this is where I want it to be. This is where I'll install the ArcoLinux tweak tool and test it out. Let's first have a look and let it load up, and then we can stop this video. Voila, I've got myself a system. It's an ArcoLinux based system. It has beautiful graphics and beautiful, as you see, how would you call this, system configuration or something, right? A nice look at things. Okay, we're using this many packages, etc, etc. All the information is nicely together. I use Arch, by the way. All right, next video, ArcoLinux tweak tool.